friend, Robbie and Bella.
Hello.
So excited! We missed our podcast last week, right? We were so busy, both of us, and I have missed this connection. And I'm so excited about today's topic again, antioxidant, right? We all know that this is one of the key for our long-term health and beauty as well. And we're gonna learn more about it from Bella, and I would like to contribute that to that as well. So hi Bella, how are you?
I am so good. I'm so happy to see you. I know I missed connecting with you last week and talking about this stuff. So I'm really happy to be back with you and I hope some of our old friends join us, but if not, I'm just really happy to be here with you. And yeah, this is one of my favorite topics. So
Yeah,
hello everybody. I want to get used to introducing myself. Um, Plant-based for almost 30 years and piano and voice teacher professionally. Also a raw vegan nutrition teacher and coach. And this is my fun time during the week with Kiko.
yeah, that's great. I love your background. I know you are settling again back to LA. You're a music
Mhm.
teacher. When I just connected with Bella just 15 minutes ago, so she was humming so beautifully. So
I've
beautiful.
been doing that a lot lately. Like whenever I, I've been singing a lot. Like even when I walk my dog, I'll kind of sing very quietly. And I'm finding, for one thing, it keeps me off of my phone. Like it keeps me from wanting to distract myself. And
Oh,
then also it's good practice, and it also kind of like puts me in a good mood. So I'm trying to do it more often. I encourage people to hum or sing.
I love it. My husband does it often, and it just makes me feel so happy. So I should remind myself to do that as well. And we sing at home easily, and it just brings our energy up. But so yeah, thanks for doing that. And let me introduce myself also. My name is Kiko. I have been on a plant-based journey for over 30 years now, and vegan for 11 years or so, and uh, high raw vegan for over 21 years. And yeah, I this year I have been pretty much fully raw this year. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna have the morning light is getting quite strong on my side. So I'll let you introduce about today's
Sure.
topic. And
Yeah, the light looks quite etheric. And hello to Creative Heart. It's nice to have you here with us. We love having people here live. Feel free to chime in. My Nana used to hum all the time. Creative Heart says, when I was a kid, I didn't realize until I was older that she did it. It does. It calms the nervous system. It's been proven that singing stimulates the vagus nerve, which triggers the rest and digest process, the relaxation response. And I know that before we signed on, Kiko and I were talking a little bit about mental health, and I have every intention of starting this mental health and nutrition series on my Substack very soon. I'm hoping in the next couple weeks, and and I'll be sharing some of my own story, which I was sharing with Kiko, has been very uncomfortable for me to talk about because, as I was saying, we were discussing victim complexes. I don't like to talk about it because I don't like to appear as a victim. I really hate that. But I do have a lot of stories to share. And one of the things I'll talk about is that I had a lot of difficult experiences in high school, but I was in a choir and I sang. I went to a school where I had three choirs a day. It was a performing arts high school where my major was actually singing, and I sang for three class periods a day. And only years later did I learn about the healing the healing properties of singing. And I realized that's how I survived my childhood. Like, that's why when people look at me, they don't think. People who get to know me learn things that I've gone through, and they're shocked because you would never know it by looking at me. And I think a lot of the credit goes to all of the singing that I started doing at a really young age.
That's beautiful. Yeah, music is amazing. And I think
Mhm.
we should bring music to our advantage. Because
Mhm.
I've realized also like music affects me in so many ways. So I'm very careful, mindful on choosing what I listen to.
Yes, that's so important. I'll show you real quick this poster. This has been my mantra for many years. Music equals love.
Oh, beautiful.
And
Yeah, I was thinking like the back so beautiful.
yeah, usually when I teach lessons, you can see that in the background. And anyway, so I didn't get a chance to introduce our topic, but I'll go ahead. We're going to talk today about antioxidants and why they matter, why they're so important, and how, as people who follow a raw vegan or a high raw lifestyle, we have a real advantage here. Anybody who eats a high amount of raw vegetables and fruits are getting an enormous amount of antioxidants. So you don't really have to worry about getting them, but it's extra powerful to understand what they are and what they do, and that way you can just be mindful about, choosing your diet wisely and what you put in there. Yeah. Oh, real quick, Creative Heart says, same. I never express myself because of perception. Yeah. Yes, I've experienced a lot of trauma. I need to sing. Yes, sing, sing, sing. Everybody sing. I want everybody to sing. It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about antioxidants. Kiko, do you want to say anything before we jump in?
No, I'm go for it. I'm happy to add in once you
Okay.
share on the antioxidant.
Okay, yeah. All right. Okay. Oh, and Creative Heart, I was just chatting about healing frequencies and which ones are legit. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, we should talk a little bit more about that on a future episode. The whole idea of healing frequencies, and there's a lot of there's an interesting conspiracy theory about tuning the instruments and how the tuning was changed, and it's an interesting conversation. Parasite cleanse, and you've been craving sugar. Yeah, the parasites love sugar. Yeah, exactly. That's typically what happens. Antioxidants, this is a good topic for you today because antioxidants are, I call them our superheroes. And the way I always tell the story whenever I'm writing about antioxidants or trying to explain to somebody what they are is I literally think of them as superheroes. The superhero in the story comes in and sees a villain beating up another guy, and the superhero sweeps in and rescues. Another analogy I use is the schoolyard bully. And so I actually think a better metaphor instead of a superhero is more like the diplomat or the peacekeeper, which kind of neutralizes. So an antioxidant doesn't necessarily destroy a free radical, which I guess I should back up and talk about that. So an antioxidant neutralizes free radicals. And so we have all heard of what free radicals are. In some ways, it's not necessarily the only thing that goes into what we call toxins, but in a lot of ways, that's kind of what we're talking about when we talk about toxins and trying to get toxins out of our body. Free radicals are real troublemakers. They cause inflammation if they're not neutralized or expelled through the various ways of doing that in our body. And if left unchecked for a long time, they can develop into really serious diseases, really bad stuff. So we really want to become aware of how to handle these free radicals, which are normal. They exist in all of our bodies. And what an antioxidant does is, first of all, a free radical is a molecule that's missing an electron. That's all it is. And so in my schoolyard bully analogy, I think of the schoolyard bully who is the bully is always in a bad situation himself. At home, he's usually getting picked on by his father or brother or somebody. He's just not getting the attention he needs. Maybe he's going hungry at home, and in order to avoid embarrassment, he like picks on a kid to take his lunch or his lunch money. So the bully in this scenario is our free radical. It's missing something it needs. It's missing an electron, and so it goes and it steals the electrons from all these other molecules, and so that causes more free radicals. And so what an antioxidant does is it goes in and it has an extra electron, and it goes, hey, leave that molecule alone. Just take one of my electrons, and then everything is peaceful. Everything is neutralized. You have prevented a molecule from being turned into a free radical, and you have turned a free radical into a whole molecule. And that's what an antioxidant is.
That's so interesting. Actually, the way you explained it reminds me of cartoon in France. It was a joint production on actually anime with France and Japan, and they basically did this how our body works.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was going through some allergy recently, my
Mm-hmm.
husband suggested that when he was growing up in this was created like it's an old anime, but the way you explained it was so beautifully explained and easy to understand even for kids
Mm-hmm.
that yeah, just I had a vivid image of how this anime explained. So yeah, well done. That was really clear.
Oh,
How,
good.
yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. I know the problem, and I am actually I've always been a slow student when it comes to science. And so but over the years, I've developed a lot of learning methods on how to
Mhm.
grasp the information. And I have like a very elaborate ritual to understanding information that's complex. And I really love breaking it down into easy to understand concepts, because I so understand that feeling of like whenever science teachers in school would explain things, I would just be like, what are you talking about? It'd be so frustrating. So it's nice to be able to put it into a story form. And anyway, Creative Heart says, oh, thank you, great guest, Kiko. And I didn't know that. Yeah, antioxidants, like I said, a lot of people will talk about this stuff and they make it sound so complex, but it's really not that complex. Antioxidants are important elements of our nutrition. They help keep us healthy, and they're a really important preventive measure. Obviously, if you're sick and you're dealing with an illness, you want to up your antioxidants, and it's going to help you heal. But really, the best approach is to have a preventative approach, to up your antioxidant level now so that you don't get sick. That's the other thing. I'm always careful. I'm always nervous to say this out loud. I got to knock on wood, but ever since I started learning all this stuff, I never get sick. I might get like really fatigued and exhausted, and I might get like a headache every now and then or something, but like the virus stuff, no, because when you flood your body with antioxidants, that's why raw vegans do so well. They have such a good foundation because their whole diet is an antioxidant rich diet, all of it. And they don't get destroyed by the heat because there's no heat involved, and
Mhm.
everything they eat is loaded with this stuff. So, anything you want to add to that, Kiko?
I'm just really happy that I'm a raw vegan. This,
Yeah.
I've been reassured by you, and yeah, it's true. It's just natural, and this might be a bit far fetched from what you talk about, but recently I started to think about uh, adding a bit of cooked foods into my diet because I have been fully raw this year pretty much, and now I'm going into very high season of being an interpreter and guide, And one of the guests, I have to be with them for 1 week, and I would stay in away from my home in a hotel. So, I've been thinking like, how can I, you know, how can I keep, how can I be healthy, physically and emotionally, because it really affects when I'm on raw vegan diet. I feel great. I have such an amazing energy, and when I wake up in the morning, I'm already in a great mood. And so I've been recently going out with my clients, and I've been looking at the menu, right? I always bring my food, but I'm open to trying something new, or something from their menu. And I look at the menu and thinking like, this is so far from. There's nothing I could bear, bringing those food into my body. So I'm still trying to find the balance, because I don't want to stress myself too much, uh, because it is a lot of work preparing meals. But for now, I am just realizing I just have to bring my food. Start my day with huge green smoothies, lots of crucified veggies, omega-3 fatty acids. Yeah, I honestly don't know how other people do it. Yeah, my body just got used to like um, outstanding food all the time, that my body's like, no, Kiko, do not take this. Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. Every time I travel, it's like a whole thing. It's a whole thing I have to go through, try and figure out what to do. You do your best. That's all you can do. And then you can look forward to coming home and having all of your stuff and your equipment and your
Mm.
grocery store. And I always bring a travel blender with me.
Mm.
And
What do you use as a travel blender?
sometimes I'll pack my Vitamix, but if that's not possible, I actually figured out you know what a stick blender is?
Like,
Like
oh,
yeah,
yeah.
plunger. It's
Mm-hmm.
usually used for soups.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like a large cylinder container that's plastic
Yeah.
that I bought on Amazon. I just searched for something
Mm.
really tall, and the stick blender breaks into two parts. And
Right.
I actually find it frustrating to make smoothies with it. But
Yeah.
what I'll do is I'll pack a nut milk bag and I'll make juices.
Oh.
So I'll blend like some water and some whatever fresh greens I can get and some chopped apple and lemon or maybe cucumbers, whatever I can get. And then I'll puree it in the container, and I'll run it through the nut milk bag into like whatever large bowl I can find wherever I'm staying. And so I'll instead of smoothies, I'll usually do juices. And then I'll just like buy a bunch of fruit and vegetables and keep it on hand. Eat very simply.
Got it. Okay, so because the stick blender doesn't, it takes a long time to get like a really smooth consistency, but if you make it into juice, yeah, it works better. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I have that. And Vitamix is for my travel coming up. I have purchased the Ninja.
Mhm.
Um, I yeah, I'm not quite happy with Ninja. NutriBullet is another option. There are quite a few
Yeah.
variations. So that's probably the way, like portable blender.
Hmm.
And I'll probably just stick with the green smoothies.
Yeah. When you're used to Vitamix, none of those things are very satisfying. But we just do our best. I can also make dressings with the stick blender. I'll
Right.
buy nuts, cashews, or whatever I can get, or almonds, and add some water and a garlic clove and a chili, and some if I can find miso paste, and if not, I'll just use salt and
Mm,
herbs, whatever. And so that way I can still make a dressing.
mhm.
That's another option.
That's great. you are keeping things very simple, right? Because you don't have a juicer. You use the Vitamix to make your juice, green juice, and smoothies and Vitamix. So
Yeah, I hate juicers. I hate them all. So I just use the nut milk bag. And I know some people think, one person comment once, like, I'd rather just clean my juicer. And I get that. Some people just prefer their juicer, but for me,
mhm,
I don't like them. So yeah, I just use the nut milk bag and my Vitamix, and
it's
that's good enough for me.
yeah, that's great that you can keep it simple. So what are your, I don't know if, stop me if I'm kind of I don't want to cut your flow, but what are your favorite antioxidant foods?
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about like how they manifest in food so that we know exactly what they are. So first of all, it's very easy to identify antioxidants because that's where the foods get their color from. Oh, hello, 21st Century Homestead. And yes, Creative Heart, it's an immersion blender. Thank you. That's what it's called. Yeah. What are your thoughts on grocery store foods? People say they aren't nutrient dense. Probably right. But we do the best we can. So yeah, so red fruits and vegetables contain something called lycopene. I'll go through all of the names, but it's important to remember that you don't have to know the names of the antioxidants. You just have to know that each color is a different antioxidant, and they all serve the same purpose, but they all have slightly different benefits. And so that's why it's a good idea to eat the rainbow. That's why you always see raw vegans saying, eat the rainbow. Try to put as many on my Instagram. If you look at all of my salads, I have a history of trying to get as many colors in there as I can. And that's why, because I'm trying my best to, like, that's my health insurance. That's the way I look at that, you
Yeah,
know?
you need that in America for sure.
Oh
You
my
guys have very expensive. Yeah,
God.
yeah. And
Okay.
when I pack my lunch and people see my lunch box,
Mhm.
they always say, "Oh my God, so it's like rainbow. It's like a Springfield." Yeah, it's true. Like red, green, yellow, purple, and uh, yeah, I love adding different colors.
Yeah, it's interesting how people would normally not be attracted to salads. They see all these colors and they're just naturally attracted to them. And I can tell that they look at these salads and they actually want to eat them. It's an interesting thing that we're all kind of wired to want to we're wired to see and look at beauty. So it makes sense that people would be drawn to a salad with lots of colors. So I guess that's another hack. If you're trying to get people in your family to eat healthier, you can entice them with the beautiful colors. Seems to work in my life, at least. I don't know. I make a salad and I put a lot of colors in it, and I bring it to the dinner table. And I'm surprised because I know most people don't really like salads. They just eat them because they think they should. Anyway, okay. So red is lycopene. So anything like tomatoes, watermelon, raspberries, radishes, radicchio, that like red cabbage looking thing, um, rhubarb, even fruits have these. And the thing about lycopene, that's probably one of the most annoying things you get to hear as a raw vegan is people who know stuff will be like, oh, the food has to be cooked to pull the lycopene out. Have you ever heard that before?
Oh yeah, like tomato is like a great
Tomatoes.
example. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it's interesting. That's true, but it's not necessarily the heat. It's actually the water being pulled from the fruit. It's not the heat. It's just when you cook a tomato, water comes out, which causes more of the lycopene to come out. So actually, the most lycopene rich food you can get is a sun-dried tomato.
So we can do it in the dehydrator.
Yeah. Or just my attitude is just eat a lot of tomatoes. Like you don't have to cook them. You can just eat a lot of tomatoes or a lot, which is easy to do when you're raw vegan. Like tomato juice is, I love tomato juice. You have to use a lot of tomatoes to do that, or gazpacho. Or I have a raw vegan marinara sauce on my in my book, Straight from the Soil. I might even have it on my blog somewhere for free if you wanted to look for it. But it uses a lot of sun-dried tomatoes in place of tomato paste. So you can get a ton of lycopene that way. Red bell peppers, cherries. Yeah. And anthocyanin is also another antioxidant in there. So the reds have two different antioxidants. So orange colors, beta carotene. We've all heard of beta carotene. That's a pretty well-known antioxidant. We all know that that's in carrots. It's also in cantaloupe, oranges. What else? Orange bell peppers, sweet potatoes. So here's how you can tell if a cooked food still has a lot of nutrition in it. If you cook it and it still retains a lot of color, you've still got a lot of good stuff. So like sweet potatoes, high raw vegans eat sweet potatoes. I eat them, not every day, but occasionally I eat them and I steam them. I recommend steaming sweet potatoes because they're really delicious. You don't have to roast them, which pulls a lot of water out and will destroy some of the nutrients. Steaming is a very low temperature and it retains a lot of water, and you have lots of beta carotene. Beta carotene and they're called carotenoids. They're great. I talked about this in my beauty food series. They're good for getting a natural glow. So you notice how a lot of raw vegans will have like a natural glow to their skin.
Yeah.
And it's because of the beta carotene. And something that's super cool is that beta carotene is not just in orange foods, it's also in dark leafy greens. So like kale and collards. The reason why they're not orange is because the high chlorophyll content, which is the green antioxidant. So it's dominating the beta carotene in color. But even when you drink a lot of green juice, I noticed I don't drink a lot of carrot juice. I can't say I eat a lot of orange foods. I do try to eat carrots occasionally, but I love my greens. And when I do a lot of green juice, I notice I'll get this like kind of natural tan and it's really nice.
Yeah, I love eating a lot of oranges, especially
Mm-hmm.
in winter time. That's we have many different varieties, and yeah, I become orange like naturally. So which works well because we don't get that much sunlight during the winter time, but you get the natural sunlight, suntan.
Yeah, it's amazing. And another thing, so I'm kind of skipping, I've skipped yellow. I'll come back to yellow, but so one of the things that I find so fascinating about a raw vegan lifestyle is that you get a high level of beta carotene, which gives you a natural glow, kind of like a natural tan, or I'll describe if you already have pretty dark skin, you just get like a natural, like kind of like a bronzy glow to your skin. So you get this natural glow with the beta carotene, and then the chlorophyll content, assuming you're eating a high level of greens, the chlorophyll acts as a natural sunscreen. So you're getting sun protection and you're getting a glow. It's just like the wildest thing that nature does for you. I just find it fascinating.
And berries also really good for
Berries?
yeah
Yes.
for the protection of sun.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Is it because of the it must be the antioxidants.
And yeah, that's what I heard. And this 21st century said if I eat cooked tomatoes, I get acid burns and she's okay eating raw.
Interesting. I wonder if it's the water content. Maybe that's why you're getting more water. I don't know.
But
It's interesting how we all have to kind of figure this stuff out, don't we?
yeah, but I'm so happy that you mentioned about this because, I used to think that, well, how is it possible that cooked tomato is better than, raw version? And now I think it's becoming more and more people are aware. It was just the water content that extracted, right? So yes, Sandra, tomato eat more raw tomato.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't have to cook them if you don't want to.
Mm,
Yeah.
and Creative Heart say, what do you think of what is this? Astaxanthin?
I'm not sure. I don't know what that is.
Astaxanthin. Okay, let me see.
I don't know. I have to look that up. And 21st Century Homestead asked also our opinion on oxalates. I was actually going to talk about that a little bit. Some, especially with green foods, oxalates can block the absorption of certain nutrients. And with green foods like spinach, so leafy greens contain contain iron and calcium. But with some foods that are high oxalate, the oxalates will block the nutrient absorption of only certain nutrients. So spinach is one of those foods where if you're trying to get more iron in your diet, I would not recommend you lean towards spinach for that. Because you have to cook the spinach to destroy the oxalates. But then you destroy other things. So that's why I go, okay, I still eat spinach every day because I love the chlorophyll content and I find it to be a very neutral tasting green for my smoothies. But I also eat kale every day, which you can absorb the iron in kale. There's no problem there.
Mm,
Oxalate level is not a problem. So yeah, it's good to know these things though. I think sometimes we hear people talk about oxalates and things like that, people who are not vegan, and they kind of will say it in a sort of aggressive way, in a way to try to discourage you from being raw vegan or vegan. But really, it's just that nutrition is quite complex, and it's good to educate yourself as much as possible and understand that, okay, yeah, spinach has a high amount of iron, but am I absorbing it?
mm.
No, I'm not. So I need to go and find another green to get those nutrients. Oh, it's a supplement. This word she used, it's a supplement supposedly with the highest amount of antioxidants. I'm not familiar with it, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look that up later.
I'm just gonna paste it here for what I have. I looked it up and okay. So that's what
Oh, cool. Powerful natural. Oh, and carotenoid pigment. Okay. Um, okay, so it's a supplement that's been I wonder what it comes from. I'm not I'm not against supplements, my personal opinion. It's just my opinion here. When I take a supplement, I try to use a whole food supplement. So if I want to get more beta carotene in my diet, which actually somebody had, my dog sitter had pointed out that my dog was starting to get cataracts. And so I wanted to try to get more beta carotene into her system. And since beta carotene is good for vision. And so I ordered carrot powder. Like I don't get like a beta carotene supplement. Instead, I'll get carrot powder or beet powder, like a whole food, something that's an actual food that
Mhm.
contains a high level of whatever nutrient it is you're looking for.
Mhm.
Because that way the body can easily assimilate it. Where I just don't trust refined things. I don't trust it. It doesn't seem wise. I try to avoid putting
Mhm.
anything refined in my body as much as possible.
Yeah, and there's a whole scam about like this nutrition, like vitamins sold anywhere. Apparently, it's very difficult to make a profit out of it. So
Mhm.
they might give you full nutritional version, but I heard that along the for long term, this company might do. I mean, quite often they do add a lot of fillers in these vitamins. So like, if it's just a 100% beet powder, there's not much to hide. I don't know, but even that, I try to get it from the whole food. Like if I can see the vegetable and if I can dehydrate, like a
Mhm.
turmeric, if I find it's not so easy to find the raw turmeric here in Japan, but when I find it, I like making my own turmeric powder because I found the studies show that the research found that turmeric found on internet, there's like a different there's some substance that we do that's harmful for our body. I think it was like what was the substance, something like mercury or like something that's very harmful for our body. So I'm mindful of where I buy those powder if I go for powders. Um,
That's really good to know.
mm,
Yeah, I'm gonna remember that because I like to make my own supplements too whenever I can from Whole Foods.
mm,
Um, oh yeah, vitamin C is needed for iron absorption. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's
mm,
vitamin C is essential for all kinds of things. Um, but yeah, supplements should be, I think, should be. You should have a skeptical eye with any supplement. I think, like you said, they're very expensive. Like Creative Heart says, I tried it, but I don't think it did anything, and it's extremely expensive. Yeah, they're really expensive, and most of the time, I think I got my dog on the powder. So Ray Sliver wrote that. That does sound kind of funny. Like I got my dog on cocaine or something. She's snorting carrot powder.
that's a California mind.
Totally. Yeah, it's so weird how that drug is coming back. I'm so grossed out by that. Anyway, but yeah, when it comes to supplements, I'm a believer in whole foods all the way, unless there's something very, very specific you're trying to get into your diet, like something you're missing, and you just have to do like the refined whatever. But I just try to like research the companies, try to find a company that I trust, and
Mm, yeah.
but
And Marcus and Kara, Marcus mentioned about vitamin C in oranges because those fruits are harvested before becoming mature. So they found actually that there was no vitamin C left in that orange, that you find.
ah,
Yeah,
no.
but it's still better. Like those, we should be aware of this fact. I do trust what Marcus says, and I like buying his products. I
Marcus
don't.
Rothkrantz.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, he does sell vitamin C. I haven't tried his vitamin C, but when we are being raw vegan, we think that we are getting so much vitamin C's.
Hmm.
Um, but if it's not harvested fully mature,
Hmm.
you might not be getting vitamin C.
Well, vitamin C is in so many foods. And
Mm,
when you're a raw vegan, you're most likely getting enough vitamin C. It's in everything. Like every fruit you eat It's even in a lot of vegetables. I love, actually, I love Marcus's products.
Mm.
I know like he's not sponsoring us or anything, but I recommend his products all the time. He's one of the only people I trust when it comes to
Mhm.
powders.
Mm.
Yeah,
What do you like?
they're amazing. Mhm.
What do you like from his? What kind of
I
health?
love his green powder. His
Oh,
green powder is amazing.
I haven't tried that. Okay, I should get that. I have bought quite a bit of sea moss from his company.
Mhm.
Mm.
He also has another one that's amazing, but what is it? It's like, oh, what is it? It's like Healthy Life Force. It comes in a blue canister and it's made for bodybuilders, but he recommends it for women who are maturing or anybody with like hormonal issues. It helps people balance their hormones. The only thing is, his products are so, the reason I trust them is because they're so nasty. They're so gross. Like the taste, you know, it's like
Is
he's
that
not messing around. So it's hard for me to get in a consistent routine. I really have to be like in one of those warrior mentalities to take his products.
so
But
you don't take it every day in your smoothies?
no, I don't. I want to take the Life Force powder, but that is, I haven't figured out a palatable way to take it every, because it's, you're supposed to take it at night. And I don't drink smoothies at night before bedtime. So I can't figure out how to make it palatable without, like, I don't want to drink it with juice. And I haven't quite figured it out yet. But when I do, I'll probably start taking it religiously. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, cool. So Creative Heart said, I was just talking to a friend about detoxing microplastic, which is a huge thing. Like we cannot avoid this. It's everywhere. Like even with the clothes, when you inhale, we just breathe.
Mm.
So
Let's talk about that.
yeah.
So chlorophyll. Okay, I'll just real quick mention yellow since we're not going to really talk about it. Yellow is its own antioxidant. It's called lutein and zeaxanthin, and it also has carotenoids. So the yellow antioxidant is also good for vision. So if you have any vision problems, try to bulk up on orange and yellow foods. But like I said, those elements are also in dark green vegetables. So you're also getting a good amount. So,
It's,
okay.
yeah, it seems like dark greens covers it all. You know, dark greens is a superhero.
Yes, for me, like I know a lot of raw vegans are like they worship fruit, but for me, I worship greens.
Mm.
Greens are the main staple of my diet because they really are, they are so essential. They have so many elements. And so, okay, to the point about heavy metals and microplastics, we're talking about detoxification. That's
Mm.
what we're talking about here. So chlorophyll is the green antioxidant. And I think it's so important that I devoted a whole week to just chlorophyll on my blog when we did the beauty food series. So chlorophyll, the reason why I think it's so important to learn about and understand and prioritize is because of the detoxification process and how it facilitates the process.
Mhm.
So in my blog, I wrote about what chlorophyll does, and the metaphor I used is that chlorophyll acts as a delivery truck and a garbage truck. So hold that image in your mind for a moment. Picture your cells in your body, and your cells are also have a digestive system, and they have to expel waste, but they also need oxygen to keep going and to stay healthy. So chlorophyll is like this delivery truck, this UPS delivery truck, and it goes to the cells and it drops off oxygen to revive the cells and keep them going. And at the same time, then it turns into a dumpster truck, a garbage truck, and it picks up the waste from the cells and then it exports it to the lungs, which is where we expel it through our air, through our exhale. A lot of people don't think about how important the breathing process is for detoxification. We only think about the digestive organs, which of course is so important. And we think about sweating, which is also important. But breath is such a major detoxifying agent, which is why health experts will encourage cardio, because when you run, when you do heavy or intense cardio, you're breathing intensely, you're breathing rhythmically in a steady fashion, and it's a constant stream of expiration. And chlorophyll is in your body assisting that process, making it more efficient. So your body's going to do it anyway. But when you have a good supply of chlorophyll in your system, it's so efficient. It's amazing.
Such a great teacher. Again, I have to find the name of this French anime that I mentioned. You do such a great job. Just, I have the vivid image how you were talking about UPS, delivering. It's beautifully explained. But yeah, greens are excellent because there's no, we have to be careful on mixing fruits and fat. But greens, there's no taboo. Like this, you can mix greens with everything. So
Yeah, and you
yeah,
should. And you
yeah,
should.
right.
Yeah.
So I used to have like any sweet thing. Like if I do smoothies, I like sneaking in broccolis. Like even like chocolate smoothies that I make. Before it was just dates and chia seeds and cacao powder. Now I add frozen broccoli, and there's no you don't taste it. Like my husband, he does not taste it.
Really?
Yes, I have added spinach also. He's like, oh, this is so good. He will not eat
Wow.
it alone. Yeah, it's so good. And make
That's a
sure,
good.
yeah, you make sure that when you eat the broccoli, when you add broccoli, you put it in the freezer, and then you just add in with those, chocolate smoothies. It's you don't
I'm going to
taste it.
try it,
Yeah, yeah, it's so good.
because you're also getting sulfur from
Mhm.
the broccoli. I mean, broccoli is such an important vegetable, and I don't eat it enough because I don't like I don't like I just don't like raw broccoli. So it's hard for me to get it in. So you know what I do? I do broccoli sprouts instead, and that's an easier way for me. But your idea, I'm going to try that because I have found that it's easy to take in intense flavors if you put it in a smoothie with some bananas and some dates. Oh, thank you, Creative Heart. I'm so glad. I'm glad that all of my years of teaching music has helped me teach like complicated stuff. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, Creative Hurts. She's amazing. I cannot keep up with great comments that she's
I know we have so many.
she's great. I mean, yeah, I'm so grateful. But yeah, she's a great teacher. Uh, Sorry. So bananas and berries apparently is not a good match. And who was it? Dr. Michael Greger. He
Yeah.
he talks about. I think he has released the fact that bananas, if you are trying to get that antioxidant benefits from that berries, because mixed berries has amazing benefits of antioxidant, but when you mix it with banana, apparently it removes that effect. But apparently if you just drink it right away, it's okay. And it's those informations are great to know, but I love the taste of bananas and berries. So I don't do it all the time, but I like adding berries in my banana smoothie sometime. But I drink it right away.
I didn't know that. It is interesting how timing does matter. Like an example of timing is garlic. When you chop garlic, it's good to let it sit for a few minutes because the compounds, I can't remember what they're called, the compounds, the potent compounds that are what you want from the garlic, they come out more intensely after you've chopped them. but you got to let it sit for a little bit. So yeah, you're right. It's interesting.
Interesting.
This is why nutrition is such an interesting topic, because there are, I kind of see it as going back, you made a joke about how it's important in America to be able to, you know, do as much as we can to protect ourselves. And it's true. Like it's funny, like we can joke about it, but I kind of see it as a very real thing. Like if you care about, I mean, I could get very serious about this, because part of the reason why I've been so intense about understanding nutrition for most of my life is because from a young age I saw what the American system was doing to us. And it's only gotten worse since I was younger, since I was a kid. And I think if you have any kind of like a warrior mentality, the kind of person who won't back down or be defeated, it would be in your best interest to learn as much as you can about nutrition. Because
Mm.
if you just go by whatever the system is feeding you or telling you to eat, you're going to end up sick. Like, I hate saying that because it's kind of an awful thing to say to a person, but it's so hard to stay healthy in this system if you don't arm yourself with knowledge.
Yeah, that's why Bella is great. I really love doing podcasts with Bella. I mean, not only that, I love her as my friend, but she's got this great base nutrition background that she has learned full year with Rick and Karen Dina. And on top of that, being a teacher for such a long period of time, you have a great way of explaining things in a very, easy to understand way. And 21st Century Homestay, you girls are in such great health. And she is also 21st Century Homestay. She's very knowledgeable, and she does a lot of great things. High raw. So I admire her. I admire her as well. She said, I have a sulfur allergy, so a lot of
Mm.
grains are not for me. You want to comment on that?
I don't know. I would look into the sulfur content of sprouts and microgreens. I don't know what the sulfur content is, but if it were me in that situation, that's the first place I would go to look. I find that a lot of problems can be solved by going to the sprouts and the microgreens. Like for
Mm,
me, I have trouble with cruciferous vegetables as well. I've gotten used to kale, and I chop it very finely. I find that if I eat like large masses of cruciferous, it's very hard on my digestive system. But if I keep it chopped very, very small or blended is even better. And
mm,
then for foods that I don't agree with, I have no problem with the sprouts and the microgreens. And they're actually more potent anyway. They have actually more nutrition than the mature counterpart. So
mm,
I'd start there. I'd look into that.
That's great. Yeah, that's a great advice. Creative Herbs, they want us to be unhealthy and stuck in the system. The US is very toxic place.
I agree. I mean, I don't mean to get conspiratorial here, but it's obvious. Like, if you keep people sick and healthy, they keep taking the drugs, which you have to take for the rest of your life. And it's like, hello, that is like the most brilliant money making model.
Mm,
It's like so obvious, but a lot of people, they want to enjoy their junk food. And so a lot of people actually do believe that, and they still eat the garbage because they're just so addicted to it, and they just live with the cognitive dissonance. So bravo to you for knowing the truth.
mm,
But yeah, so I know we don't have a lot of time left, so I want to just go back to, I think I said enough about chlorophyll. And if you want to know more about this, I recommend you go to my blog, rawvegannofriends.com. And there's a whole series called the Beauty Food Series. Oh, no, it's okay. She says not to bring the podcast down.
Definitely, no, we appreciate that.
My whole honestly, the reason I do this is I don't make any money. My profession is music. That's like why my studio looks like this, because this is really like the bulk of my life. But I care a lot about sharing what I know because I've been obsessively researching this stuff and experimenting with health practices since I was a teenager. And it really disturbs me what I see in the world. And so I'm a big believer that if something bothers you, you don't wallow in sadness, you do something about it. So here we are. That's
Yeah,
why I have my blog. And so if you go to my blog, I have a whole article on chlorophyll, which really breaks down. And I even put together an ebook that I think is free. I can't remember. I have a couple things on there that are for paid subscribers, which it's only $8 a month. And if you want to support me, you can. But if not, there's a lot of free stuff. And then there's a whole antioxidant article. Also, that comes with an ebook. So you can
mhm.
get a ton of information on my blog if you want to go deeper on this. All right. So real quick, I'll wrap it up with blue and purple. And that goes to the berries you were talking about. So the berries are loaded with anthocyanins. That's the compounds in the blue and purple vegetables, which also leads me to this tip. If you're in the grocery store and you see a vegetable, you see the same vegetable but two different colors, go for the richest hue. So I know in my grocery store, I can sometimes find purple cauliflower next to the white cauliflower. You ever see that where you live? And there's also yellow cauliflower I've seen in
I
some.
used to see that more in Europe. I don't see that, but we have many more greens, like varieties here. Yeah.
Yeah, Asian markets over here have way more greens than my regular grocery store. So I totally believe you. But I do see a lot of like interesting purple sweet potatoes. So if you eat sweet potatoes, get a purple sweet potato, and orange ones are good too. But don't get the white ones if you have the option of getting purple or orange. Get the purple cauliflower instead of the white cauliflower. You're going to get more antioxidants. So there you go. Oh, okay. If her ebook is free and you want to pay for it, just give me $3.99 and I'll send you the copy. Okay,
I,
Race Lover, you're funny. I like you.
I, you know, I I read it 3 times. Like, did I really get that right?
That's funny. Okay, and then 21st Century Homestead says, love the blog. Thank you. I'm glad that you read it. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Tons of great information, and Bella and I, we don't do this for money. Obviously, this is. I think we are just doing it as part of our duty to share to the world because raw vegan nutrition is amazing, but it's not, we don't find it easily, right? I mean, we need more people like us to share, not just some influencers. So I'm doing my own part. I make money somewhere else. And this is just, out of duty. Like it helps, helped me so much. And I'm really grateful that I can do this with Bella.
Me too. Thank you, Kiko. And thanks for providing a platform because Kiko is really the one in charge of this. She puts all of this together and she organizes the descriptions. And I wouldn't be able to do this without you. I really appreciate it. I really think of this as a community service situation because, like you said, there's a lot of raw vegans out there and a lot of really great raw vegans who give really good information. But it never hurts to have another voice or two to share their spin. Like you mentioned, I'm pretty good at breaking down complex topics and I love telling stories. Like my favorite thing is to write. I love writing and I love teaching complicated ideas in the form of story. And so if you find it helpful, please share this with other people because we're kind of just getting started, and
Mm,
we're hoping to get more people to view our channel, our podcast, and also I'd love to have more people on my blog. I know I haven't been active, but I'm gonna be writing on it again very soon, I promise.
great. Okay, so, oops, did I?
I have a couple more comments before we end. Creative Heart says, Bella, do you eat fully raw? I eat about 90% raw. I would be technically a high raw vegan, but I do center my whole lifestyle around raw food. I like I like cooked beans. I'm a big believer in them, and I hate sprouted lentils, and I don't like sprouted legumes. So I just decided one day that I would just eat them cooked. And sometimes I'll eat, like I said, sweet potatoes. When I go to a restaurant, I sometimes make exceptions because, you know,
Yeah, Bella is definitely a mindful high raw vegans. There are high raw vegans who, this is no judgment, but who stays on high raw, but just go out and eat some junk food time to time. And a lot of this eating disorder, raw vegans have this eating disorder, including me. It works really well for me because I don't have it anymore, but eating disorder has been a major issues for me. Yeah,
it's
so
common. You're right.
yeah, Bella is
I can
definitely.
relate too, Kiko. I've had my own issues with, yes, I totally get that. And being, it takes some practice because even raw veganism can become a bit disordered. You can become very obsessive about it. You can try to be so perfect. And that's one of the reasons why I went ahead and was just like, you know what? I am not gonna I'm not gonna hurt myself and deprive myself of certain nutrition. I'm just gonna eat the cooked beans. It's not a big deal, you know?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. I think it's great that, whether, are you gonna just stick with fully raw and not eat those beans that you might miss those great nutritions?
Mhm.
So I think that's a great approach. And let's see, check. Yeah, sprouted lentils and girls are not good to me either. And yeah, I mix it with something and I put it in a dehydrator. That's what I like.
Oh, I wanna try that. Race lover, you're cracking me up. I'm like 9% raw. Raw is there.
I love it.
Okay, race lover, link your blog or something. Do you have something? You are hysterical.
Yeah.
Okay, Creative Heart says, I'm going to check out your blog. Thank you.
Yeah.
And also, most big raw vegans don't do lives. That's great.
Mm,
So we're taking a corner that needs to be occupied. That's great. That
yeah.
gives us some fuel to keep going.
Yeah.
Yes, many are obsessed with the restriction. Yes, that's another comment that just came up. That is one of the things I don't like about the raw world. And I really didn't start becoming really like open and transparent and active until I reached the 10-year marker
Mm,
because I felt like all those other years, I tried to be part of the community, and there were a lot of good people, but I really was disturbed by the obsessive people who were very judgmental
mm,
and thought they knew everything. And I would think to myself, I don't know if I really agree with your philosophy, but you're like so aggressive about it. You have all this backed up
mm.
information. And but now that I've had like over a decade of experience, I feel like okay, like I think I've earned a right to share my experience with people, and hopefully it will help those who maybe have a similar philosophy and need some place to go.
Yeah, definitely first few years is the honeymoon period and you feel like, this is the only way. And I have been quiet for 21 years and not now just sharing. And I feel more comfortable to share because honestly, trying so many ways and seeing other people doing their own journey, I'm thinking, okay, well, each person has to find their way. And what all we are doing is sharing what we have experienced, and also Bella's foundation of learning raw nutrition, that solid course that you have taken from Rick and Karen Dina, and also on top of that your research as well, and what's working for us.
Yeah. And by the way, Kiko's book is awesome if anybody needs inspiration, because 20 years raw vegan is no joke. Like when I reach 20 years, I wonder, like, I wonder what that's like. I'm looking forward to finding out though.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Creative Hurts it. Honestly, I think,
Mm,
yeah, to be skinny, I followed the big ones for 15 years.
yeah, that's true. I've seen that. It's pretty obvious. You can see it in some people more than others. Let's see. He's Race is starting like a cartel, a carrot powder cartel.
Love it. Thank
Oh
you so
my
much.
God.
It's over 1 hour. I know you have to go, Bella, but again, we have so much to share, and we love. We can go into so many directions. And
Yes.
I have learned myself. Again, the rainbow. Bella, maybe you want to sum it up what you wanted, what we talk about on antioxidants.
Good idea. Thank you for keeping me organized here. Okay, so today we talked about antioxidants. Antioxidants are the neutralizing forces found in colorful foods, raw fruits and vegetables. Colorful raw fruits and vegetables. What they do is they go into your body and they clean up the free radicals that are threatening your body with disease and inflammation. And so you want to fill your body with as many raw fruits and vegetables as you can, and focus on a lot of green foods because you want the chlorophyll. And also, I'll say, add some cardio to your life, add some intense running, rebounding on a trampoline, jump rope, anything that gets your heart rate up and your breathing where you're having to like really work at your breath. And here's another little tip I'll give you as a musician that's fun, because some people, they really don't like to exercise and they won't do it. But if you are a very creative person and you like music, singing forces you to regulate your breathing. And it will also force you to take in more air and expel more air. And here's another really fun tip. Wind instruments. You see, I have these flutes behind me. One of the reasons I stay with that practice is because it pushes me in my breath work. So if
Interesting.
you're somebody who's not really musically inclined and you would find that frustrating, harmonicas are really excellent for anybody. All you have to do is blow into them and they make a sound. It's not like you need any special technique. So if you just want to have the satisfaction of like inhaling and blowing out into an instrument, a harmonica is a great idea. And also, and if you don't have any of those things, just breath work. You can find guided breath work exercises online for free, and that'll get your breath moving. And you can start making your detoxification process more efficient. You do that for a week, up your greens, up your colorful foods, get some breath work moving, give it 1 week, and notice if you feel differently. Notice if you look differently. You might have a little bit more glow to your skin. You might notice that you feel calmer, your digestion is better. So that's today's wrap up. And we got a lot of nice comments.
That was beautifully summarized. It's
Oh,
great. Yeah.
thank you. Thanks everybody for participating. Also, it's really so fun. I'm enjoying this. I would not have been able to do this without you, Kiko. I'm not good at setting up stuff like this. So thanks for facilitating us. And thank you for Creative Heart, Race Liver, and 21st Century Homestead for joining us each week. Really appreciate it. Oh yeah, hum. That's right. Hum,
Oh,
sing.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will be more mindful on that. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's so much fun. I hope to do this years and years to come.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, and thank you so much. I'm doing it. Oh, that's great. Creative Heart. She's amazing.
I'm looking forward to the next one. We have so many things to talk about. I'm already thinking of multiple topics for us in the future. So I don't think we're going to run out of things to
Yeah.
say anytime soon.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to the next one. And I hope you guys will join us next week.
Yay. It's great. Excellent. Thank you so much, Bella, for sharing your knowledge. And I had so much fun and with comments and race lover. Peace.
Yeah. Enjoy your profits.
Yeah, the carrot.
Pirate my ebooks and start that carrot powder cartel.
Thank you. Thank you.